Hi, my name is Celeste Griswold and I am the creator of Griswold Knits. In this video, I will show you step by step how to knit my wild oak beanies. This pattern is specifically for light bulky weight yarn. I use slip stitch detailing and cabling in making this hat. You are welcome to sell your finished hats. I just ask that you please give credit for my pattern design, Celeste Griswold, griswoldknits.com/Etsy. My pattern is available for purchase in my Etsy shop as an instant PDF digital download. The pattern includes instructions for both light, bulky, and medium worsted weight yarn. In the pattern, you have the option to create a single brim or a folded brim, whichever you prefer. If this is something that interests you and you want to see how to make this light, bulky weight hat, stay tuned and I will show you how. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is cast on. For my pattern, we need 72 stitches total. So I leave a bit of a tail and then I'm wrapping my yarn around my needle 10 times. And really what I'm going to be doing is just trying to measure out approximately how much yarn I'll need for my long tail. So I found that this is a good way of just making sure you have the right amount of yarn. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. That should be more than enough to cast on 72 stitches. So the next step is to create a slip knot. And I like to do this by wrapping the yarn around my two fingers like so. And then I create a little gap between my fingers and I bring that yarn up through the center and create a little slip knot. Place the slip knot onto your needle, and I'm using the long tail cast on method. You can use any method you'd like. This is just my preference. With the long tail cast on method, you want to make sure that the long tail is towards the front of your needle and the yarn attached to your skein is towards the back. I use my index finger and thumb to create a triangular shape by spreading those two strands apart like so. You pick up the yarn that's next to your thumb, bring the needle back and pick up the yarn from your index finger and pull it through that same loop that was next to your thumb. I went a little quickly, so I'm going to do it. I'll do it a couple of times. Triangle, pick up the yarn that's next to your thumb, grab the yarn from your index finger and pull it through that same yarn that was next to your thumb. Triangle, pick up the yarn next to your thumb, grab the yarn from your index finger and pull it through. Okay, so now I have 72 stitches on my needles. I'm going to be using the invisible join method. So I'm actually going to cast on one extra stitch. So now I have 73 stitches. We're going to be using that extra stitch when we join in the round. So ultimately we will have 72 stitches total. You can use any method you'd like to join in the round. This is just how I like to do it. So what I'm going to do is take my right hand needle and I'm going to slip the first stitch from the left hand needle onto my right hand needle, pick up that first stitch, that extra stitch, and I'm going to pass it over the slipped stitch. And that creates the invisible join. So now I have 72 stitches on my needle. And what I like to do is tie a little knot at the bottom, and I think that that just helps secure the join. So now we have 72 stitches on our needles. We've joined in the round and we are ready to begin knitting the brim of our hat. So this is a 2x2 rib. So we're going to place our stitch marker, and you're going to knit 2, purl 2, you bring your yarn towards the front of your work, purl the next 2 stitches, and that's it. You just repeat knit 2, purl 2 for the next 12 rounds. Okay, so once your brim is complete, before we move on to the body of the hat, we are going to need to knit 1 increase round. So we're going to place our stitch marker, and for the increase round, we're going to knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and then on the next stitch we're going to do the increase by knitting through the front and back of the same loop. So you knit through the front loop as you would normally. Instead of sliding your stitch off of the needle, you're going to swing the needle back around, insert it through the back of that loop, yarn over, and pull through. So now we have created 2 stitches in 1, and I will show that to you again. So we're going to knit 3, then we're going to KFB, which stands for knit front and back. So we're going to knit through the front of the first stitch and then go in through the back of the same stitch and knit. And then you slide it off of the left-hand needle. One more time, knit 3. And then knit through the fronts, and then knit through the back of the same loop.